At some point, I'm going to have to figure out which session number this actually is.
I have a session number. I don't know if it's the right session number.
What session number do you have?
I have session number. We're on session number 46.
That seems right.
That's based on, I think, what you had, but Carl would be the one who has probably the actual session number.
Well, I haven't been keeping track of the numbers, and some of my notes, like, I don't. If we're going to be doing the same thing, I try not to section them off, so I haven't been good at keeping the actual number. So, like, if it's a continuation of the last thing, I try to keep it all into one body of writing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My notebook only has like 15 pages left.
I'm not sure. Do you do a page?
Well, some sessions are 2 to 3 pages, some sessions are like a quarter of a page. Really depends. It's only like a 100-page composition notebook. It's not a big notebook.
Oh, okay. It's not like a page per turn, though.
No.
Like page per session, I mean.
I mean, no. Some sessions are probably more. Like last session was like at least 2 pages of notes. A little more.
Carl's got to write in a fucking textbook over here.
But then when we're battling stuff, obviously there's not really any notes being written down.
All right. So who wants to give us a little recap from last session?
Are you asking one person, or do you want the group version like we did last?
Sure. Whatever you all would like to do.
Cameron has volunteered as tribute.
Well, from my memory, Strahd had just gotten done finishing up giving us a tour. Or me and Catwin and I'm blanking on her name. Great start. I always blank on her name. This lady.
Irina.
Irina.
There we go. We just getting done giving us a tour. Got a little bit of his history on his father and why this has turned that direction. Azur and Eliana met with his first bride and talked about
Sasha.
Yep, talked about a prisoner that she would like us to help free. It sounds like Strahd will not be here tomorrow, so that is when we will probably need to do this. And then
Shaw and Catelyn and Irina don't know that information yet.
Correct.
Catwin's was moonlighting as a stand-up comedian as well.
Yes.
Also, Strahd did mention that he had an attempted assassination on him from Rudolf von Richten.
Correct.
And when he confronted us, it seemed like he could see through the lies. But we're not quite sure.
Correct.
So that may be where he's going tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah. And so just as your gracious host finishes telling his story about his father in the kingdom, you hear footsteps coming up from below, along with kind of the clinking of chains, and Strahd kind of turns towards the stairwell, and you see him smile, and as you see Rahadin step out into the audience hall here, leading a figure. Rahadin's holding a chain that leads up to a collar around the neck of this stumbling figure that he's kind of dragging behind him. The person's wearing just like a burlap sack, and they have another bag over their head. Strahd turns and again he kind of smiles at Rahadin and he says, "Punctual as always, I see." And Rahadin steps up, kind of dragging this man, and then he kind of like pushes him forward and then like kicks him in the back of the knee, so he kind of falls to his knees in front of Strahd. And he says, "The prisoner awaits your judgment, my lord."
Do we recognize this person?
They have a bag over their head.
Yeah, they have a bag over their head. You don't. As Strahd steps forward and pulls the bag off of this person's head, and you see a man. His eyes are wide with terror, but his body is, as you look more closely at him, warped beyond recognition. Is the what are you doing?
I'm opening something. I'm sorry. Is it picking up in your headphones?
I had no idea what that sound was.
I was opening a package.
Clearly, my description's so gripping that Carly is just like off in La La Land over there.
I'm
opening
listening.
presents.
I'm just opening a package of prunes.
Prunes?
I knew Amanda would get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
My
We're
Gotta
trying to
stay regular.
We're trying to stay regular over here. Gotta eat them at night time.
Team prunes over here.
Now I'm choking and dying, and I just realized my water bottle's empty. Oh boy!
While you're
Okay.
while you're
It's going
beveraging up,
great.
does
Okay.
it look like the folks who live with the abbot, like the same kind of curse? that those
No.
folks had?
So this guy, his I'm trying to think of what the character's name is, and I'm blanking. But his muscles are just like grotesquely swollen. His skin is almost like tearing. His muscles have gotten so big, and the most unsettling thing about this figure is that you realize that like where like his big bulging trap muscles are, there's also on each side of his head 2 little lumps on each side that look like tiny little misshapen heads with their eyes squeezed shut.
Oh, Jesus!
Oh, that's fucked up. Okay.
2 heads growing out of his head.
Yeah, so well there's 4 of them, and they're like on his traps, like his shoulders.
And
And
is this, like, obviously magical in sense? Is it like, would we have any idea what the fuck caused this? Like, is this a torture method? Is this a
you can make a
gone bad? Like,
you could make a survival a nature check.
I'm a survivor.
No.
Yeah, you don't know. This doesn't look like anything you've ever seen before. And Strahd turns to all of you and says, "This man is a convicted murderer. He was Valakian, who murdered his neighbor after he was caught with his wife, and the neighbor after he caught his wife and the neighbor having an affair. He tore a wooden beam from the victim's own home and used it to crush him to death. Savage brute. He kind of shakes his head, but he's got a bit of a smile on his face. For his crimes, he's been sentenced to death. I've been impressed with your displays of martial prowess that you've shown as you've ventured through my land, but I want to know what you would do when faced with an enemy that bears no sword. The Lord's justice is unlike the justice of the battlefield, and it has come time to decide how this creature will pass from this world. And he kind of looks over each of you, and he says, "How should it be done?"
Does it look like the person is in pain at all, or like?
You can make an insight check.
Okay, hold on.
With a 13, no. Looks more like they're just terrified.
I think Shaw will say, well, what do you have to say for yourself? Speaking to the man or thing on trial.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
It's just, yeah, what does he have to say for himself?
Oh, yeah.
I think before a man is put to death, he should at least be given a chance to defend himself.
He just kind of looks down at his he looks down at his own hands, and he just kind of shakes his head. He says, I did it, but I don't want to die.
Strahd, you seem to have already made your decision about this man being sentenced to death. Why does it matter what means we decide how he goes about it?
He says, I just want to know what you would do if you were in my shoes. And yes, I have already decided that this man deserves death, as that is the punishment for murder in this land.
If I had to put somebody to death, it's very possible that death is the ultimate punishment, and I wouldn't decide for it to be any more painful than it has to be.
Yeah, the most humane way possible. But a crime such as murder, I do think that there need to be heavy consequences for something like that.
he
I'd probably just make sure I made it quick.
he nods and he kind of steps back and gestures at the prisoner, and he says, well, here's your chance to dole out justice.
Can Shaw message Azure? And just kind of like under his breath as this is happening, just say, are we sure about this?
I mean, you can, but remember there are somatic components to.
Yeah, true.
I hear you.
Right? Was that a kitten meowing at you?
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that they might have heard.
I
so
heard a
Did you
cat.
actually do that? No, I think my mic was on mute, but I think a little bit caught in Amanda's mic
That's
when I
okay.
was responding. That's probably what happened. Yeah. So are you not saying that to me then? Kevin?
No, with this, I forgot about the somatic components, so that would kind of.
And what if we don't want to do it, Strahd? Why make us do your dirty work? Again, when you've already decided on this man's fate. And I cross my arms.
He just looks at you and raises an eyebrow and says, I just wanted to see if you had the stomach for it.
And this dude's on his knees, right?
Yep.
You've already seen how strong we are. We dispatched all of your druids.
I think Shaw will just kind of interrupt, not his druids.
Strahd smiles as you as you add that tidbit, and he says, "Yes, but as I said, the Lord's justice is different from the justice of the battlefield."
I cross my arms and turn around. I'm not going to do it.
Before we make a final judgment here, has this man always looked like this, or has he already been tortured for some of his wrongdoings?
Strahd looks down at the deformed figure, and he kind of says quietly, there are some in Barovia who attempt to deal with powers far darker than I. And one way or another, they all receive their reward in the end.
I think at this point, with what he's gone through, it might even be a mercy.
I look over my shoulder. Do I get a sense that I don't know if Eliana would actually know this or not, but do I get a sense that possibly killing this man is part of completing whatever this weird transformation is?
You could make an Arcana check if you wanted.
Ooh, I never thought of that.
Good thought.
Well done.
We are checking.
We are check.
Oh, fuck me. I was rolling 20s last night. And now I rolled a 1. God damn it.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away. And
I didn't do anything to you, Evray.
They have taken away your ability to know
that information.
And whether or not your assumption is correct. So you are not sure.
I will then just I'll just say where how do we know that what you're telling us is
He did say he killed him.
He did say
Yeah.
he killed him. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Never mind. Just kidding.
Okay.
I still am pouting and turned away.
As you all kind of look back and forth between each other, Irina actually steps forward and with a hand on her sword, and says, you are truthful, looking at Strahd, in that this man is a convicted murderer. And Strahd says, yes, he is. As he has admitted himself, he is guilty. And
I guess one thing when he says that, can I see if he looks like he might be under any kind of spell?
You can make an Arcana check.
Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't appear to be.
No.
Irina looks at the man with a bit of pity in her eyes, and says, the Morning Lord does have the capacity to forgive, but the law of the land must also be upheld. And if justice is needed, justice shall be dealt swiftly. And she looks to you, Shaw, almost like she's looking for permission.
Shaw will hand her his dagger and just say, make it quick.
Catwin, while this is happening, is equipping her great axe and walking over here.
As Irina kind of turns, she looks at you, Catwin, and she says, are you sure? I am willing to bear this burden.
So am I.
She nods and she steps back.
I assume I need to roll for my great axe. I'm gonna try to just one shot cut this guy's head off.
Yeah. Give me an attack roll with advantage, please. Yeah, that's a max damage roll. That will do it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Catwin steps up and swiftly deals out justice, as it were.
Justice, bitch.
As the body hits the floor, Strahd says, not all would have the constitution to mete out justice as you have. I applaud your commitment. And Rahadin begins to drag the body away.
Is it like a Kill Bill movie in here now? Like this spewing everywhere.
I mean, there's a puddle. There's definitely a puddle.
Is that why there's this purple mark on the floor?
No, that's actually the light from the stained glass window.
Oh.
But Strahd gestures towards the other stairwell so that you all wouldn't have to walk through the the puddle the puddle of blood. And says, "Come, that concludes the festivities for the evening. I shall see you back to your carriage."
All right. As we're walking out, I'm just gonna try to follow, but like a little more distance and kind of nudge Shaw.
Well, Strahd's kind of like waiting. Escher walks down
waiting
first,
for us to go.
and then Strahd's like waiting for y'all to follow Escher.
Okay, I'm gonna nudge Shaw to go first with me then.
I'll go.
So, and then I'm just gonna kind of just whisper silently. I'm like, "We're good. We can talk when we leave." And then keep going.
Sounds good.
Where are my maps? There they are.
But my maps.
But my maps. My cabbages.
My cabbages.
Escher leads you all down to the entryway here. Oh god. And Strahd kind of stands at the base of the stair and says, "Well, it has certainly made for an interesting evening. I thank you all for indulging me in my questions and conversations. And I hope the journey back treats you well."
How late is it at this point? Just 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or is it much
Yeah,
later?
I'd say we're getting towards 10 o'clock probably. It's been a few hours.
Yep. I'll just kind of do standard courtesy bow towards him.
He bows and smiles and gestures towards Escher, who opens the front door.
Well, I guess that's that then, yeah.
I guess so, unless anybody else wants to say anything to Strahd.
Or what else I would say.
I'm about to say, I think Shaw has said enough. For once.
I probably would have handed the dessert tray back to... I think I still had the dessert tray with me the whole time.
Escher would have taken it from you
Yeah.
upstairs.
Okay.
Just some snacks at the beheading.
Just eating a pastry and watching a beheading.
We have some past hors d'oeuvres at the beheading today.
Oh, actually, Shaw will do one more thing. He will take out the box that is the bag. I'm blanking on the name of it.
Box of holding.
Yeah, the box of holding. And just say, "Can we keep this?"
He nods. He says, "Oh yes, of course. That was a gift to you."
Sweet. Thanks.
Eliana will say that we enjoyed the food and meeting. Oh,
Enjoyed the food and what? Sorry.
we enjoyed the food. The desserts were delicious, and meeting all your consorts.
Quite
Strahd nods and says it was
colorful
a.
crew.
Oh, go ahead.
I was like, quite the colorful crew you've gathered here.
He smiles and nods. He says, "They do keep me entertained, and it was a pleasure getting to know all of you more as well."
Oh, be sure to give those two my love. Tell them I'm terribly sorry. I've forgotten their names, but I think you know.
Ludmilla and what's her
yes.
face?
Those are the two.
Starts with a V. Valenka.
Valenka?
Valinta.
Valenta?
Yes, Valenta.
You got there in the end.
Yes. Coffin Lady Valenta is what I wrote.
Often Lady Valenta.
Coffin Lady. Oh, because she was the one in the coffin store. That's why.
Well,
Eliana,
I'm
sees
just
yourself
gonna
out.
keep heading out.
Yeah. The moment that you hang on, I gotta get water.
Mike's dying. Not actually.
Please don't die, Mike.
No, we like him too much. I mean, we can like talk while Mike's out of the room. Oh no, he's back.
No secrets.
Secrets.
You can't talk while I'm not here. Okay. The moment that you step over the threshold, you see this bright, white, blinding flash of lightning and this just massive crack of thunder. The whole castle like rattles for a moment. A few pieces of glass tinkle down out of the stained glass window, and dust kind of shakes out of the rafters. And as you look out through the front doors, you can actually see that one of the one of the towers that holds the chains to the drawbridge is like smoking out of one of the windows.
Did that seem like it was just a natural
say,
storm,
there's no
or is
way.
there something more to that?
You can make a nature check.
It's alive.
Oh my! Everyone hates us today.
Yeah.
175. That's what we've drawn so far.
With a 6, that it kind of it didn't seem like anything other than just a lightning strike. That parapet, the tower, is one of the taller things in the area. Escher is kind of like looking back and forth between like out there, you all, and Strahd. And Strahd actually waves for everyone to come back in. Back inside. And Escher says, I think it might be best if you step back into the foyer. It may not be best to step out into the storm at this time.
That's a fair point. Would you be able to provide accommodations for us this evening then?
He says, let us assess what is happening. I will check with the master. He kind of gestures for all of you to go back in so he can close the door.
All right. Back in. Close this door.
Yeah.
I would hope in a castle this big that there would be some empty room.
He goes over to talk quietly with Strahd for a moment. And Strahd says, well, they're conversing quietly. And then actually after just a moment,
Is there any chance that we can hear them?
you can make a perception check.
Yeah, I'll try.
Someone's got to roll above a 7.
Nope.
Yeah,
What
no.
the fuck?
You can
There's-
hear like that they're whispering, but because it's a big like marble hall, it's just like lots of echoes of dissonant
You
whispers.
literally hear piss,
Yeah.
piss, piss.
The thunder
Yes.
is too loud.
Yeah, and it also, yes, torrential rains and loud thunder. Ludmilla actually comes hurrying up from the other hallway and goes and talks. Oh, that's not Ludmilla. Where's Ludmilla? There it is. Aha. Ludmilla comes over and also whispers with them quietly for a moment. I'm
gonna whisper to Azur. Didn't she tell us not to stay the night? And just kind of like raise my eyebrows at him.
I think we just asked if he planned on having us stay the night, and she said no. That's what I recall.
Yeah, you were the one who asked the question, and I don't remember the answer.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to stay the night.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything saying like "don't stay the night," but we were wondering if the invitation was an overnight invitation.
Basically.
Wink, wink. Overnight guests.
I mean, my assumption is that all these are dirt roads too, so a carriage on these dirt roads might not get very far with all the mud.
After
Whoa.
Ludmilla walks up, they converse quietly for a moment. Ludmilla turns and hurries off back the way she came. And Escher kind of steps back, and Strahd steps down and walks over to all of you and says, well, it appears that the lightning strike has scorched the runes from the tower, the ones that control the drawbridge. So, unfortunately, it seems that you all may have to remain for the night.
Are they going to be fixed by the morning?
He nods. He says, the Coven believes that they can have them restored in a few hours, but we might as well sleep here and let the storm pass.
Only if we get a hall pass. Are you okay if we, look around, check the place out for ourselves even more than the tour?
He shakes his head. He says, no, I'm afraid that's not possible. Unfortunately, there are denizens that walk these halls, and
Ooh.
Oh my
Me?
god.
Me. I heard hall pass.
Get
And I
your
was like, oh my
mind
god.
out of the gutter.
I was like, oh
I was
damn. I was
like,
like,
wait.
shocked. I was like, I don't think
was-
that's. I mean, I know what. I got there, but I was like, oh boy, this
I'll
is.
say, y'all need to get your heads
A
out of the
literal
gutter.
hall pass, not a figurative hall pass.
I was like,
Plus,
who was-
hall
wait,
pass is assuming that Shaw
Yeah.
has someone.
Aren't you
getting
all,
the
are we all
hall pass?
single anyways? Why do we need a hall pass?
I mean, Strahd does have. Well, you've met 5 of his brides, so.
Does Strahd have a hall pass from his brides?
I don't think Strahd needs a hall pass.
Yeah, true.
Strahd is the hall pass.
Mhm.
Hall pass is actually an orgy.
Yeah, be careful what you ask for.
Anyways,
you're gonna end up like
Shaw
me at the
is
beginning
going
of
to
Baldur's
ignore the
Gate.
giggles coming from behind his group.
from the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Correct. And just say, well, is there any denizens that maybe you're having issues with that we can help out with? I mean, it would be a shame for us to just sit here.
He says, oh, no, it is perfectly okay. I appreciate your concern, but no. We will show you. I will have Efsha show you to some very lavish accommodations, but
Hmm.
I must insist that you remain there until morning.
Can I like insight check him just to see if like this is something that he's like actually like worried about, like the lightning strike itself? Like, is it something that it happens every once in a while, or is this something where it's like he's secretly like, what the fuck was that? I need to figure it out.
Sure, yeah, give me an insight check. Hey, look, we have a roll higher than a 10.
We get it.
Yeah, with the dirty 20, no, he seems essentially unfazed. He never when he was talking with Escher and Ludmilla, it was more of like what, like
What's the damage type
yeah,
situation?
tell me what is happening, not worried, just more of a just like
Gotcha.
like, give me the status report. He's
Yeah. Okay.
and he also does seem very earnest in his saying that you will need to stay in your accommodations for the evening.
Okay.
For the night.
If we must.
No tomfoolery.
Fair enough. You gotta check, right? Shall we say, all right then. Well, I guess again we appreciate the continued hospitality. We'll say.
He nods. He says, and I do apologize for the inconvenience. I'm sure you were looking forward to retiring back to the Blue Water Inn.
Well, yeah, we have to gossip about our evening.
He said you were done talking, Shaw.
Is Shaw ever done talking?
No. He smiles and he says, well, as I said, you will find your accommodations quite comfortable, I hope, and you are free to gossip away.
No spies, and he'll just kind of throw up the like, I know you're definitely probably watching, but it's fine types.
He just smiles. He just smiles indulgently, and then he turns to Escher and he says, I will have Escher show you to your rooms, and I will have Sasha bring up some
Refreshments.
With blood?
Aperitifs. That's the word I was looking for. Have Sasha bring an aperitifs up to your room. I have some work to attend to now, so I bid you good night. And he turns and heads this way.
Cool.
Yep. And as she says, yes, if you'd please follow me, I will lead you to the guest quarters. Now, I have to remember where those are and how you get there.
Well, there's not that many rooms in this place. It's not like there's like 90 rooms, right?
No.
I don't
900
want to talk about it.
floors.
I don't want to talk about it. 88. 88
Oh, I
individual
remember.
locations.
Yeah, the rest of this is all just the ballroom.
Just a big
let's
ass ballroom.
See.
Room full of balls.
Right, I have to get you guys. All right, we're going. All right, let's see. We did that part. We did this. Mm-hmm. 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 Aha! K21, K30, K35, K47.
First try.
We're going up the South Tower stair, which is that one. Okay. Yep. Escher will lead you all this way. And he kind of has a bit of a dejected look on his face. And he says, if you'll follow me, I will lead you up to your accommodation.
Why the long face, Escher? How'd you get involved with all of this?
He just kind of looks at you and says, well, if you must know,
I don't have to. I mean, if it's personal or anything like that, you don't have to tell us. I'm just curious.
it's just that the lounge that you will be accommodating this evening is one of my favorite hangouts in the castle, which means I'll have to give it up for the evening.
Well, you're welcome to stay.
It's not
I'm sure you have plenty of stories that you'd like to tell.
He cracks a thin smile and he says, I don't believe that would be the most appropriate, and the master has asked that you be left alone for the evening. And he will head you guys up the spiral staircase here. And we are going all the way up to which floor?
Is there an elevator in this place?
No, it's just a very long spiral staircase.
Dang it.
You think they have elevators in Barovia, of all places?
Imagine how cursed the elevators would be in Barovia. Come on now.
Probably all just elevators from The Shining. Blood,
Everything is Tower of Terror.
blood pouring out of every elevator.
Hey,
That's a lot.
if it works, it works.
Wait, what? How? This doesn't make sense.
This is ridiculous. It's
It's
unfair.
ridiculous.
Fourth. Okay, going up to the fourth floor. 1, 2, 3. So he leads you all up 4 flights of stairs.
So why is this your favorite hangout spot?
First floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor. Yeah, and you all will be coming out here. Going up these stairs. And he says,
Oh.
Giant.
oh yeah, the squares are 10 feet, not 5.
There is.
So big.
Where is my arena? And Escher.
What?
Careful,
I'm not
kitty.
even in this room yet, but like, what?
Careful,
what?
kitty. Kitty, be careful. I
be
don't
careful.
trust you.
Do it.
Don't trust you. I do not.
Untrustworthy
What's
kitties.
happening?
There's a kitty on top of my computer trying to get
Oh.
down
Oh my.
computer. Do you want to get down? You want to get down? The kitty is down. We are safe.
All right, good to go.
Is this where we are supposed to be?
You're the one who's got to look. I can't tell you.
Yes. Yeah, as you step out onto this landing, you feel a cold
You can do
wind.
token border list to get rid of the border if you want.
I feel like my face is just so small compared to everybody else's, and I want a
A border none. That's what it is. So.
dashboard or none.
Yeah, do
Mhm.
exclamation mark token space dashboard or none.
I feel like you all like I'm so tiny in my little bubble, and yours is all like zoomed in on your face, and I look like a miniature person.
What
You
you
are
can do is
a
you can do
miniature person,
you can
I mean, you
do
kind of are.
you can do portrait, and then it'll give you the full size image, and then you can put it back in the token generator
Save
and
it.
just expand the token,
Yeah.
like expand the image so it's a little more zoomed in if you want.
Yeah. Because it's
Uh,
not on this computer, it's on my other computer.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel a cold draft blowing down this side of the staircase. And there's a ornate rug on the floor, and there is a trapdoor in the floor, and on the wall is a framed portrait of a handsome, well-dressed man with a serene yet penetrating gaze.
Nice.
Does it seem like that's more than a portrait?
Is it like Hogwarts?
Penetrating gaze. I don't know. It could be
Whoa, easy.
phi.
Easy.
well, you do note
I
that
know
it
better.
the painting is a painting of Strahd.
Okay.
Mm.
And Escher steps up and unlocks this door and opens it. Cha. And steps
As
in.
he's
Oh,
doing that,
yeah,
Shao
and
will just say, "All right, we won't tell if you won't. What's down there? Come on, he didn't give us the hall pass. You gotta give us something."
He says, "Oh, it's inconsequential."
Insight check.
Sure.
Dirty talk.
With a 20, he is he seems actually to be pretty genuine on that. He doesn't seem like he's trying to be dodgy. More of just like it doesn't matter to him.
Gotcha. All right.
And he says, and to answer your earlier question, this is just one of my favorite places to sit and read and be cozy.
Any books you'd recommend?
Yeah, triple D. It's over in the corner.
What?
Yeah, one's
Dungeons
lay
and
down on this
Dragons and more
couch.
dungeons, or whatever that was called.
Dragons, Dungeons, and More Dragons?
Yeah.
Dungeons, and More Dungeons?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, but that was the name of the shop. It wasn't a book.
Well, it could be a book. You don't know.
Okay.
As I pass this, can I see if it's like used a lot? Like, does it look like it gets opened and closed a lot?
The trapdoor?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make an investigation check if you'd like.
Fuck.
It does not seem very heavily used. There's no like very super clear wear marks. But it's also not like completely covered in dust or anything. But Escher did just mention that he likes to come up here. So.
Okay.
He gestures to actually he steps over and opens this door for you as well. And he says, "Oh, that's fog. Not what I wanted to do."
And he bursts into fog.
He just poof, bat, and he turns
Bat.
into a
Exactly.
bat.
He can become a bat. He's still getting the hang of the bat thing.
And he says, well, this is it, and the master has asked that you remain within these quarters for the duration of your stay. Sasha will be up shortly to provide a midnight snack and some refreshments, and someone will be to retrieve you in the morning. But that door, and he points at the door, he says, will remain locked until that time.
Right. Do I see keys on him at all?
You can make a investigation check.
Catwin's gonna enter
Nope.
the room with the bed
Nope.
in it.
Oh my gosh.
Is there's another door in this room. What is there more like bedding behind this door, or what's the other door in this room?
He says that it's
A mimic.
just a closet.
Inside check.
Sure, you can insight check him.
Catwin's gonna crawl into this bed.
With a 12, he seems to be being honest about the closet.
Well, I guess we'll have to play a game to see who gets to use the bed.
Catwin's already in the bed.
All right. As soon as he leaves, I'd like to take a look at the cloak we got from Strahd to see if it's anything more than just a normal cloak.
Sure. Make. Are you wanting to see like if it has magical properties? Are you wanting to
Like if I could take a little bit of time to like identify it or something.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
don't
Do
have
you?
the spell, so
Yeah. If you don't have the spell, it takes a short rest.
yeah. I mean, I'll have a short rest. I'll just kind of be in the chair here looking at it.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Are all the windows closed, or are any
yes,
broken?
they are. They are stained glass windows that are actually intact in this room and do not appear to be openable.
What's on these bookshelves? Did we already ask that? Was that not taken?
Oh yeah, Escher didn't really recommend. He didn't mention any books, but you see some titles such as "Embalming the Lost Art," "Life Among the Undead," "Learning to Cope," "Castle Building 101,"
Nice.
and "Goats of the Balanock Mountains."
A classic.
I would like to take the Goats of the Balanock Mountains book out.
Actually, before I identify the cloak, and maybe I'll ask Shaw for help. It's like maybe we should just check to see if there's anything that might be able to listen in on us here before we talk more.
Yeah, can we do like a sweep of the room? Looking
yeah.
like magics or stuff like that.
You can make either investigation if you're looking for nooks, crannies, anything hidden, arcana if you're looking for anything magical.
I'll look for Arcana, and you want to look investigate.
Sure.
Would either of you like guidance? I can only do it to one of you.
If you're
You
willing.
pick.
I have
Um,
+4.
Hmm?
I have +4.
Shaw, what's
Cameron
your
has a big
okay, I will
investigation.
give you. Yeah, then I'll give you. You have a +3 to insight. Oh, you. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
We're doing
Then,
Arcana.
yeah. Then you get it. Azur. Can you also Shaw? Can you look for any I don't know, hidden passages maybe?
Well, yeah. What do you think I'm doing?
Oh, okay.
That's like, obviously, are we being watched? This, that, but like, let's be real. Let's see if we can get the fuck out of here and look around this place.
I'm hoping to learn
I
about.
would say maybe we
the
don't
local
push our luck
ghost.
tonight, but we want to see what we can find first, and then have some things to discuss before we do anything else.
Can I take a short rest while they're looking around? Mav?
Yeah, that's fine. All right, with the 25, Shaw, you don't see any like. There's nothing like hidden behind the bookshelf. There's no like hidden compartments or anything anywhere around in this room, and you're pretty sure about that. With a 17, is where you don't see anything that would like be any form of that's showing any signs of like divination magic or enchantment or anything like that. Everything in this room seems perfectly mundane.
Well, I think we can talk a little bit about. We'll just keep it brief about what Ileana and I did while you guys were on your tour.
And actually, as you're finishing up your resting and searching, there is a knock at the door,
All right.
and Sasha
Come in.
steps in, carrying a tray of drinks and more pastries.
Oh.
Does she have keys on her?
You can make a perception check.
I will just. Yeah, no, I don't know what they know. So yeah, I will perception check that.
With a 12, you don't see any, and she had a tray in her hands when she walked in the door. So
Okay.
she sets it down on the little coffee table over here, and then she steps back.
Just ask her, is it safe to talk freely in here?
She turns to like look and make sure the door is closed, and then she nods and she says, "Yes, I think if we converse quietly, we should be all right."
So, what do you mean? What is she like? Which side are you on?
She says, as I have told your friends here, I am I'm trying to think of the words. My brain is just like not firing on all cylinders.
That's totally fine.
She says, I am no longer loyal to Strahd, though I am bound to him, and so my defiance of him has limits.
Yeah, and I mean, if we don't want to go over it all again, I'll kind of give the short download of what we discussed. In
Yeah,
the
and
secret room.
Yep, and I think Sasha would nod and confirm.
Yep.
As you kind of go through it.
Yeah, and did she? I think because like some of it we were like, yeah, you'll give some notes on like all the smaller details that we didn't go into with. But she told us like where the basically three things are right previously: the woman she wants to save, the dragon bones, and then the dungeons, how to get there. She gave us that information already.
Yes.
Well, that's very helpful.
Is the woman you want to save on this side of the castle or the other side?
Oh, let me show you because you all would have walked up this. Let me show you. Strahd, Castle Ravenloft. She's about to tell you about this. Oh, no, I'm adding fog, not taking it away.
Dense fog.
So this is the landing right below the one that you're on now, and there was a door there.
So we're on the 3rd floor right now.
You're on the 4th floor.
4th floor. Okay.
I guess ground floor for 2nd, 3rd. So you'd be 3rd floor.
So is Gertruda on the 3rd floor or is she on the 2nd
She's
floor?
a floor below where you are now.
Okay.
And so Sasha would say, no, she is on the floor below, but the room that she is held in is on the other side of the castle from this one.
So like over here?
Yeah.
Over here? I assume that like we're in that circular thing, like right here.
Yeah, you're basically like above, you're kind of above this whole thing right here.
Okay.
There's not a book on the bookshelf that says a map of Castle Ravenloft on
There
it.
sure isn't.
Blueprint.
Perfect.
Worth checking.
Oh, wrong one.
No? Yes, wrong one.
This one. Yeah, so she would tell you that she's being held on the floor below, but on the other side. She does know. So she'll say, there are a few things that I did not have time to warn you of during our last conversation. There are numerous traps throughout the castle that he has disarmed and hosting you for dinner this evening, but I believe they will be reactivated either tonight or once he leaves the castle tomorrow. I do not know of them, and my bond prevents me from telling you of them, but I can tell you that they're there. And she says, there are also others who wander the castle, and it would be best to avoid them if at all possible. And lastly, while Strahd may be gone, very few are able to come and go from the castle without catching Rahadin unaware. I believe you may have to face him if you wish to succeed.
And let's be
Tonight or
real.
tomorrow?
She says, tomorrow. I would not attempt to leave this room tonight with Strahd still in the castle.
Oh, that's right. Strahd's going to be in the castle still tonight.
If we do face him, any tips for how we can have an upper hand?
Oh yeah, that I wanted to ask that last time too, or something similar.
Again, are you asking against Strahd or Rahadin?
Rahadim.
Oh,
Um, she says, Rahadin, while very loyal to my master, has not been inducted into the Order of Vampires. He is but a mortal elf. So, he can be killed, but he is a most vicious swordsman.
So, if possible, do not engage him in close
close combat.
quarters.
Or if you do, just know you're gonna get hit.
Vicious swordsman.
As an elf, does he have a relationship with the weave?
She shakes her head and says, I am not sure.
I nod.
Do you remember she's been in a cell for like 400 years?
Yeah.
And what time tomorrow will we be able to start this quest?
He nods, or she nods, and she says, the way I know that he will be gone tomorrow is that he always leaves at the eve of a new moon. And tomorrow night is the next new moon. He departs at sunset and returns at sunrise. I do not know where he goes during this time, but he has done so for the previous few months, and I would assume the pattern will continue again tomorrow.
We must get whatever we can get done for sunrise and be out. If the drawbridge is up, what's the easiest way to get around that?
She says, I anticipate that the drawbridge will be down. It is never up while Strahd is without the castle.
Okay. And hypothetically, if one was able to change their appearance to look like somebody else, what would be the safest option to choose in that that hypothetical?
She kind of shakes her head. She says, I don't know that I could answer that.
Is there anybody else who is sympathetic to your cause, to our cause?
Within these walls? Other than perhaps some of the prisoners? No. As the conversation kind of winds down, she says, if that is all, I must retire. I warn you again, do not leave this room tonight. And other than that, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you for your assistance.
And She just nods. And then unless there are any other forthcoming
I'm just gonna
questions.
say, you hear that, Strahd, or hear that, Shaw?
Yes.
No,
I
no
hear
mischief
that.
tonight.
I'm not happy about it. But
Well, could cause risk for the entire mission tomorrow.
I know.
Man, I had to step away quick.
All good.
Yeah, I think now just kind of will be. I don't know about you guys, but maybe tomorrow, we formulate a plan. I don't know if I have the wherewithal tonight after all we've already had happen.
So,
I think we take shifts tonight.
yeah, I only need to transfer about 4 hours.
It's fine.
You want to take first watch and wake me up when you need to sleep, and I'll take second watch.
You're really quiet, Cameron.
I'll
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I don't mind taking second watch. I have an idea. Mav, is there any gap at the bottom of the door? Or like, are there gaps around the door?
Not significant ones, no.
How small of a creature would have to get through the gaps?
I mean, like, tiny, like, itty bitty.
But like, mice can get through little cracks, right?
It doesn't seem like even a mouse would be able to get through.
What about a spider?
A spider might be able to find a way through.
I just don't think a spider has a fast enough walking speed. What about a scorpion?
I don't think you see any cracks large enough for a scorpion to get through.
Okay. Are there any creatures in this room? Are there any little baby are there any little spiders or any small little insects that I can see in here?
You can make a nature check. The 19, no, you are quite sure that there are not any little creatures running around in this room. No signs of mice or rats or birds or anything. Or goats.
I didn't learn anything about the goats. Yeah, so I was thinking I could maybe send my wild companion to maybe explore a little, but I think I can only get maybe a small spider through the crack under that door. I wish I could get something like a bat through.
We really think that's a good idea to risk anything tonight.
I mean, if it's a bat, you saw bats earlier.
Yeah,
They were
but
all up in the rafters.
if it gets found out, though, I mean, we have a lot riding on the line tomorrow, and if we get caught tonight, that's all basically done. That's just my only concern.
How would my wild companion get caught?
I don't know. I'm not saying that it's likely, but it's a possibility. It could look different from other bats. I have no idea.
I mean, you've seen Mr. T. He looks just like every other snowy owl.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I can get a creature out there. And a spider, unfortunately, I'm not sure can make it very far. My wild companion only lasts 3 hours.
I'm also fine with just hanging out here tonight.
At this point, I am actually going to try to identify that cloak now.
Shaw's gonna put his cloak back on.
Yeah. You spend a little while. You spend an hour examining the cloak. It is, in fact, just a nice, fancy black velvet cloak with silver lining.
Okay. Not a cursed cloak or anything.
Nope.
Okay. After a long, hard deliberation, this is just a normal cloak.
Shaw's gonna say, well, we did happen to get this nice little box here. You want me to hold anything?
I wouldn't put anything you value in there just yet.
Why not?
Well, you said that was a box of, like, a bag of holding type device, correct?
Yeah.
So who knows what Strahd could else have hidden in there that we couldn't find?
Is there a way to check if something's already in there?
Oh yeah. You can open it and look in it. I mean, you can get in it and look in it.
Hold on. If the bag is turned inside out, its contents spill forth. I'm gonna turn it upside down and.
Yeah, you can turn it upside down and shake it like a box.
Out.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, nothing comes out. It's empty.
An ogre.
Yeah. Right.
Roll initiative.
2 mimics fall out. Roll initiative.
They're both doors.
Hold the door.
See?
Hold the door.
I'll give him Strahd's cloak that he gave me to put in there. Like, well, we can keep these in there, I suppose. And I'm gonna put my
You know what? That's a good idea.
cloak
And
of elven kind back on.
Yeah, Shaw will do the same.
I kind of like my cloak. I'm gonna hold on to the Strahd cloak.
I don't feel quite as sneaky with it as I do with this cloak.
It just feels comfy.
I mean, I still have my, my chain shirt on under here or on top of here, one of the two. I'm not quite sure.
Just a chain shirt, and that's it. Sounds very uncomfortable.
Sounds like chafing.
Definitely. Lots of pinching.
Mm.
I'm gonna try to remove and put back each of these books individually because I've now seen a secret passageway behind that organ. I'm gonna try to take out and remove every book.
Sure, it'll take you a while, but you could definitely do it.
I only need a 4-hour trance.
Yeah, you can do that.
I do that.
While she's
Well,
doing that,
Yeah, well, I'm just doing that.
I want to ask Irina a question.
Sure.
Now, when we were talking to Sasha, she said that Strahd has a password. I come in Dostran's memory. Do you by any chance?
Shaw's eyes immediately light up with that. And he starts digging frantically through his backpack looking for the book.
You're asking Irina if she knows anything
If she
about...
recognized the name, I don't know if it's like an Oberovian name or something.
Yeah, she shakes her head. She says, I've never heard that name before. No, I don't know.
Are you going to try that on the book, Shaw?
I mean, that kind is like.
I mean, we haven't tried to open that in a while.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go to the other side of the room and let's try this thing. Michelle will kind of go in the corner.
Oh, go ahead.
No. You go back there. If we've learned anything from the.
Oh, you just wanted to make a noble sacrifice and not have anybody help you in case you need it?
Well, no. I was just thinking. I have the book. I should just go over here and do it.
Yeah, but if
You wanna do
something
it, that's
happens where you
fine.
need immediate assistance,
for it.
I'll just assist you in case something happens, was my thought process. I don't want you to do it
Okay,
alone.
fine. All right. I accept your help. And Shaw will whisper that passphrase at the book.
What's the passphrase?
Oh, you're gonna make me say it, aren't you?
Mhm.
Fuck.
Do you remember what I
Oh,
said?
I put it in the chat.
I have
know,
it.
I'm
It's
looking for
a
it.
come in Dostran's memory.
Nostran's memory.
Yeah. Shaz just says, "I come in Dostran's memory," and then he'll like wince.
Season
Music
music.
stops.
And we all die. Are we all dead?
Maybe we shouldn't have done this in Strahd's castle.
Yeah, I mean, is that the best idea? No. Are we already committed? Yes.
You're already doing it. Mike's reading, I can tell.
I
Well,
have,
we've
to,
done
I
a
have to
lot
find something
about
quickly.
We did a lot of checking on the room itself, so hopefully it shouldn't activate anything else in the room.
The door opens.
I mean, from my understanding, it's only stuff that might be very personal to Strahd himself, so I think the book is a good.
Aha! I found it.
Do we blow up and die?
Nothing happened.
As you whisper those words, the
We're okay. Nothing happened.
the the lock releases.
Oh! Shaw will very quickly take it off as so that it does not shut again. Is it open? Like is the book opened?
Yes, the book is open.
Are there any other traps or devices on the book? Like, we all saw that and heard that, right?
I think Shaw will audibly say, "Holy shit!" And he'll open the book and what do I see?
So as you open it, on the first page, you see in this beautiful holographic script, just several paragraphs of text. Are you going to start reading it, or are you going to thumb through the book?
No, I'm gonna straight up like start reading. I think with something this important, Shaw wouldn't.
Flip around.
Yeah, he would be looking over this thing intently.
Let's see if this is going to break the character limit on Discord or not.
Oh,
jeez.
Oh wow.
All right.
Holy-
Well,
Oh,
give me
boy.
a second.
Just some light reading.
I'm like
Would
doing
you-
the
would
like
you,
neck
like-
crane thing to try to read as
Would
well.
you like me to read it, or do you want Shaw to read it out loud to the group?
I think that's a Shaw thing.
Yeah, Shaw will read it out loud to the group.
Go ahead.
And he'll just kind of do like the, like you're reading to a group, but you're not reading to a group. You're kind of reading just out loud to yourself type of situation. And he'll just go, I am the ancient, I am the land, my beginnings are lost in the darkness of the past. I was the warrior, I was good and just. I thundered across the land like the wrath of a just god. But the war years and the killing years wore down my soul as the wind wears stone into sand. All goodness slipped from my life. I found my youth, my strength gone, and all I had left was death. My army settled in the valley of Barovia and took power over the people in the name of a just god, but with none of a god's grace or justice. I called for my family, long unseated from their ancient thrones, and brought them here to settle in the castle Ravenloft. They came with a younger brother of mine, Sergei. He was handsome and youthful, and I hated him for both. From the families of the valley, one spirit shone above all others, a rare beauty. It was called perfection, joy, and treasure. Her name was Tatiana, and I longed for her to be mine. But Old One was my name to her, elder, brother also. Her heart went to Sergei. They were betrothed. The date was set. With words, she called me brother, but when I looked into her eyes, they reflected another name, death. It was the death of the age that she saw in me. She loved her youth and enjoyed it. But I had squandered mine, and I came to hate death. My death. But I would not be called death so soon. I made a pact with death. On the day of the wedding, I killed Sergei, my brother, and sealed my pact with his blood. I found Tatiana weeping in the garden east of the chapel. She fled from me, and I pursued. Finally, in despair, she flung herself from the walls of Ravenloft, and I watched everything I ever wanted fall from my grasp forever. It was 1,000 feet through the mist. No trace of her was ever found, and not even I know her final fate. Arrows from the castle guards pierced me to my soul, but I did not die, nor did I live. I became undead forever. I have studied much since then. Vampire is my new name. I still lust for life and youth, and curse the living that took them from me. Even the sun is against me, but little else can harm me. Even a stake through my heart does not kill me, though it holds me from movement. But the sword, that cursed sword that Sergei brought, I must dispose of that awful tool. I fear it, I fear and hate it as much as the sun. I have learned much, too, about this land of Barovia. Ancient are its ways, ancient beyond the knowledge of the simple folk of the valley. Ancient gods dwelt in this valley long before my coming, and 3 hidden fanes still give tribute to their memories. I have visited the swamp fane, the forest fane, and the mountain fane, and claim their power for my own. Lost my spot, shoot. Their servants now serve me, and thus I have become the land. Since my passage into eternity, I have often hunted for Tatiana. I've even felt her within my grasp, though she fled from me once again. But she cannot run forever, and I have nothing but time. I write this now to crystallize my rage in the face of at times In face of time's better winds, as the chill of the grave grips my heart, I feel that all that I was, leave me, the death of the man. Did I read that right? And the birth of the immortal. Yet this memory shall preserve a scion of that righteous fury. I shall bury the past, and so begin anew. I reside far below Ravenloft. I now reside far below Ravenloft. I live among the dead and sleep in the very stones of this hollow castle of despair. I have adorned the riches of my conquest beneath the toll of the belfry, sealed behind the reminder of the treasure I once lost. Yet one day I shall rise again from the ashes of my glory and reclaim what is rightfully mine.
As you reach the end and flip to the next page, the end of the text and flip to the next page, you just see pages of diagrams and equations and strange symbols that aren't written in any language that you recognize.
Is that any language any of us would recognize?
You could all make investigation checks if you like.
Holy.
Is that
Well, I guess we're not doing better
investigation?
than Cameron.
Yeah, I was in it, baby.
Yeah, with that 20, Shaw, you definitely have experience with these. This is a cipher. The diagrams and drawings aren't, but the equations and symbols are a cipher of some kind.
Yes.
And
love a cipher.
and
This is me, OOC.
And you note that several of the diagrams appear to depict a large crystalline, what appears to be a large crystalline human heart, and then others depict circles of standing stones.
Shaw will just kind of, again, he's like over this, but he is talking to the group as he discovers and reads and
I'm like peering right over him. Like,
yeah. And I think at this point I would have called everyone over to look at this.
Yeah. And one
and we're
thing,
definitely sure this is Strahd's based on the symbol on the front, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In fact, it's the same symbol that you saw. It's like in the parquet floor down in the foyer.
Yep.
You do see within the cipher one thing that you realize is the only thing written in Common Shaw with that 20 is a name, Exanther.
Exanther?
Yeah, I'll copy it.
Maybe with real bits of Exanther.
Yeah. Also, the dyslexic in me is very proud of myself for how well I read that.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And many instances of the of that name are also accompanied by this symbol.
Inverted triangle. The Triforce?
It's like, is it Bill?
I knew he was Ganondorf.
A Triforce, but also with a squiggle in the middle.
Let me see if I can find see if I can find an actual picture of it.
Bill.
All I think about is Bill.
Children's show, remember?
Totally a children's show.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a children's show.
Not seeing drawing of the symbol anywhere.
So we basically just got Strahd's entire backstory, including motive.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it good. So you just have to go with the description. So we can draw it in paint later if you want.
A vertical wavy line. I mean, seems like that's pretty easy to. Ooh.
Um, is there does there seem to be any? Well, I guess has Shaw told us that he thinks it's a cipher?
Yeah, I would have told everyone.
Does there appear to be any like key to the cipher? Any clue to it?
No.
Oh. Except for Xanther is in the common tongue.
Exithanter? Exithanter.
Atanto.
I like Xanther better, but
Xanther?
Exanther.
Ex-
It's a
we can.
terrible name.
I'm fine sticking with like Xanther.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just that's the only thing you can make out from it. And the symbol of it, the things I described, the drawings I described, the large crystalline human heart, and then the circles of standing stones, and then the little symbol that goes along with Xanther's name.
The standing stones. When we summoned that guy by the druids, were there like a bunch of standing stones around him too?
That was just
thinking that?
a standing stone.
That was just a standing stone.
Mm-hmm.
Does the depiction of these standing stones look similar to that singular one, or is it probably not hard to tell from a drawing?
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Oh, what was the answer, Carl, to that? If we recognize the standing stones?
Yeah, if it seemed like it was similar to the standing stone we saw when we summoned that spirit, before we fought the druids. Remember that guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we've come across a few like statues.
Right.
We did the statue with the druid. There was a statue in the basement of the werewolves, in the cave of the werewolves, and then there was the statue that you came across at the lake.
Yeah.
Azur, do those look like any of those?
I don't know. I don't think the drawings are detailed enough to understand this. Like what I'm getting.
No, this appears to be more of a layout of standing stones than like detailed depictions of single standing stones.
Yeah, so we haven't seen anything with this layout. Then, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's just not detailed enough. I think we'd just have to find something where they're laid out in this manner.
Yeah, but the nice thing is, guys, we open this. We now like have some answers of what the fuck happened.
Yeah,
This
that's
is huge.
a lot to unpack there.
And there's as Shah continues to flip through the book, there's nothing else that would have any other value or anything like that. Or is that kind of the big stuff?
Sorry, were you asking me something?
Yeah, there's nothing else in this book that we would really need. That's just Cameron to Mike as a DM.
I mean, yeah, I've given you the details that Shaw, the character, would have gotten out of it. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So I don't need to spend more time looking at the book.
No, yeah, you've sort of at this point you have thumbed through the whole thing now. Yes.
I'm wondering if that sword he references here is that sword of sunlight from
when we
our
were
reading,
on...
and also that picture.
Yeah, when we were getting a
Or
tour,
maybe I didn't see that picture. That was when you guys were there.
Catwin and I saw
Mhm.
that picture. Apparently, that sword was his father's, he said.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, now this is something. Should we really wait to dive into this till after our mission tomorrow?
Yeah, so tell us more of this mission. We need to rescue someone from the dungeons, essentially.
Do you want me to go over everything that we just sort of technically went over with Sasha or not? This is over the table. I just basically didn't rehash it all again because I thought I was just interested in saying all the same things we said last session. But if you want, I can go over my notes.
Cameron,
That would help
Shaw
Cameron.
doesn't.
Shaw does.
Oh, then never mind. I got it.
That was the intent. So basically, like, Sasha came in, we were talking and saying everything, but we didn't just want to repeat ourselves again.
Yeah, you were filling in
Yeah.
Shaw, Catwin, and Irina on what Azure, Eliana, and Sasha had talked about. So Shaw is up to speed on that conversation now.
Fair.
Yeah.
No
So
worries.
everybody knows the same stuff at this point. It's just how do we accomplish it? Which I think, I don't know. It's pretty late. I don't know if I have the brain power, and we probably should make sure we at least get a good rest in tonight. We might not be able to tomorrow, and then we can plan before sunset tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Maybe we'll take some time to meditate on these pages that are written in the front pages of this book. See if we can glean any further meaning out of them.
Yeah, it definitely helps us to understand how he became this way.
I find it odd that Strahd put us in all of those riddles and gave us all of those I can't think of the word, predicaments to wade through when he himself has done something so terrible. And also with that man that Catwin executed. It's not very different from what was written in these pages.
I mean, how many lifetimes has Strahd lived at this point?
But why do you think Strahd would give us all of those dilemmas if he himself has suffered such a dilemma?
I think it was more of a test
Yeah, it was
to
certainly
see
more of a
what
test.
our natures are. I think he might try to use it against us in the future. We just have to keep that in mind.
You just have to remember, we're just trying to get the fuck out of here. And if
Right.
we have to go through him to do that, fuck him.
Yep. He's just playing his game with us right now. Here's a question. What do you think he does on the eve of every new moon? Where he's leaving the castle? Do we know of any events that happen on New Moon's Eve that could be important to someone like him?
No, I don't think you would.
My out of character guess is that there are some things that vampires do on new moons because there's no sunlight being reflected off of the moon. They're most powerful and maybe go hunting or something like that. But Eliana probably doesn't know that about vampires.
Mhm. Not just a vampire. He's the vampire.
The vampire.
Yeah.
He is the land.
Do we know does Eliana happen to know, some of these names are capitalized, like the ancient and
The land.
the land, and there was another one. Just death, maybe?
Yeah.
Um
And he talked about the swamp fane, the forest fane, and the mountain fane. Are
oh,
those the
but
same as the Barovian gods that we
yeah.
had
I mean,
learned
And
about
then
earlier?
thing, right?
and then old one. Are there possibly any gods in the pantheon that he could be referring to? Because he said that he made a deal with death. But then he also calls himself the ancient, the land, and old one. Are there possibly any gods in the pantheon he's referencing?
I think he is those. That's how I interpreted that. Like, that is what he is called by people.
Okay.
At this point, I'm gonna say I'm happy crashing on the couch. People want a bed. Are these like big enough to sleep on, these chaises here?
They look like it.
You're on mute.
Between the couches, the chaises, and the bed, you all would have a surface to sleep on that isn't the floor for the evening.
I'm gonna choose this chaise.
So I'll sleep in the other one.
I'm taking first watch, so I will be awake.
Catelyn
Right.
will take the bed and then pop up whenever.
Can Shaw Mage hand this door open
Sure.
for curiosity's sake?
It's a mimic.
Is it locked?
It is not. Sorry, I was just getting back to my place in the document after having to go hunt down the tome.
Ooh, there's some blankets in there for everybody else. I've been kind of like munching on all the snacks throughout the night. Munch, munch, munch.
Nope, it's just a closet. And there's iron hooks line the wall, like for hanging coats and cloaks and things.
Shaw looks at Catelyn and just go, well, better check.
There is a there's a clock on the wall here that is a very finely crafted model. Looks like the front facade of Castle Ravenloft, but it appears to be broken and isn't running.
Bad.
All right.
Long rest?
Long rest. Also, I have an over the table decision for you guys to make.
Ooh.
There is a kind of wondering if I should just make the decision for you all. I think I might.
Then does that mean you can't tell us what decision you're gonna make?
Yes.
Darn it. Then we should definitely make that decision.
All right.
I mean, I'll leave it up to you, Mike. You're the DM. You know.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Sorry. So here's what it is. There is there's two ways that we can do this. There's the abridged version and the full version. The full version of the thing that is going to happen next would take probably 2 to 3 more sessions, and just sort of allows you all to play out the scenario versus my narrating what happens next with just a small scene at the end that is interactive. The outcome of the story wouldn't change at all. The one like pivotal decision you guys get to make, you get to make anyway. One will just take 30 minutes. The other one will probably take like 5 hours.
30 minutes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think 30 minutes sounds like a better idea.
Okay.
Because we just don't have enough time to.
Yeah, that was my decision as well, was to just do that. And so, but since you asked, that was what the choice would be.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah. Are you all long resting except for Eliana, who's on the first watch?
Yes, I believe so. And then she's going to wake up Shaw
Yeah.
for the last 4 hours.
Is there a way that I can get the long rest as well? Or no? I don't need it.
Does anybody else trance like me?
No.
No.
Not even
an
Catelyn?
elf.
Isn't she half elf?
She's half orc.
She's half orc. Mm.
Catelyn's like snoring already.
Yeah, Cat was out. Yeah, you can take the long rest. It's fine. Okay. You four are sleeping. Eliana, you're reading about goats of the Balanock Mountains, I believe.
Yeah.
Eliana, as you're the three of you in here are asleep, and so is Irina on the couch here. As you're reading, Eliana, you hear a clock begin to chime midnight, and as the chimes approach the 12th chime, your eyes get heavier and heavier and heavier, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God.
Are you
How
kidding
many
me?
natural ones is that today?
It's
Jeez.
at least.
Are you fucking
Five.
kidding me? I've rolled 2 nat 1s in one night. This isn't real. I should have rolled a real dice. Next
As the clock strikes the 10th chime, your eyes become just immeasurably heavy, and your chin begins to droop. By the 11th chime, your eyes are closed, and you're trying to fight it, and you don't hear the 12th chime because you fall completely asleep.
Does anyone else hear the chimes or no?
No.
Okay.
All 5 of you suddenly fall into this shared dream.
I don't like shared dreams. That really gives me the heebie-jeebies.
And I'm going to narrate through it rather than having you all do the puzzle, essentially, of figuring out that you're in a dream. It doesn't really add anything to the game. It would have just taken us forever to do. So I'm just going to kind of narrate the high points of the story that it's trying to tell.
We can come back and do it as a one-shot another time.
Sure. Yes. Each of you feel this like cold, sharp pricks against your neck, and this is what awakens you into the dream. And you see as you sit up, hanging in the closet, is a body, and on the body are puncture marks on her neck. And as you step up to look at it, you actually fall through the floor of the closet, and you land in the same closet, but the body isn't there this time. You turn and look into the room, and you see a cloaked, broad-shouldered man step into the room, and he's holding a torch aloft, and he looks around for a moment but clearly doesn't see what he's looking for, so he turns and then he walks back out. As you step out of the closet into the bedroom, you appear to fall through the floor again. I envision it sort of like the pensive in Harry Potter when you sort of like mist down into the next level. And as you enter this level, you hear this persistent clicking and ticking sound. And as you turn and look, you see that the clock on the wall is now ticking. But the minute and hour hand never move away from midnight. It's another piece of the puzzle that would indicate that you're in the dream. Yeah. As you look around, you note that there is a figure laying on the bed here, and you recognize it as the woman that you saw in the closet on the first level, and she's curled up and sobbing on the bed, and you see the door slam open, and you see her clutch the blankets and turn away and curl up, and then you fall down to the next level. There it is. As you land in this level, the door bursts open again. And this time you see this monstrous black-scaled, like reptilian head trying to like push its way through the door frame. It's got horns that almost look like elfin ears, and its eyes glimmer with this cruel, malevolent purpose. And it begins to continue pushing its way into the room, cracking the door frame. And it begins to let out this like ear-splitting roar as it does, you notice just these sharp, pointed fangs that are dripping with a red blood. And as it steps into the room, you once again fall. And you see a young woman sitting on the bed this time. She's wearing a simple white woolen shift. She has a clean apron tied around her waist, and her messy brown hair kind of falls across her face. And she's kind of clutching her knees to her chest. You have this instinct to reach out to her to try and comfort her, and as you do, she looks up at you, and you can see 2 puncture wounds at the side of her neck, and you also see dangling around her neck a small locket. And I need all of you to make history checks, please.
At least
Dog
one
gets
of
all
us
the good
is,
rolls tonight.
Yeah, at least one of us is rolling
Gee.
well. Whoa,
Oh,
me.
there you go.
Hey. Well, I guess I could make one for Irina too. Why not? Oh no.
Probably the locket that I have.
I hope so.
Oh, not bad, Irina. Not bad. Shaw and Eliana, yeah, you recognize it instantly as a match for the locket that you found in the woods on the way here. And as you reach out to comfort her, this is where we'll actually no. If you reach out in a moment to comfort her, and she tells you that her name is Farushka, and she's a servant here in the castle. And
Who we were looking for.
she had been enjoying her time here in the castle until 10 days ago when everything changed. The sky, she says, the sky turned red and mists rose around the valley, and a great darkness appeared in King von Zarovich's chambers. And she says, he didn't see me, but I saw him as I was cleaning, and before I fled, I heard the whispering of 1,000 voices, and I saw a glimmer of amber in the air before him. But the master has become a monster, and she says he has been and she gestures at her neck. She says, he's been feeding on me as if he were a bat, and draining my blood. I can feel it leaving as he does it. She says, after the first time he tried it, I tried to flee, but he caught me, and he locked me away here, and he had Rahadin throw away the key. I fear that there's no chance I'll ever escape. And if you ask her about the locket, she tells you it was given to me by a dear friend named Katarina. I don't think I'll ever see her again, though. And as she looks back up at you, you fall through the floor one last time. As you where did it go? Oh yeah, here we go. Sorry, I'm skipping a bunch of stuff now. Again, that just like isn't really pertinent. Yeah. So this time, as you fall through, you fall back into your sleeping positions, and you begin to hear a clock chime, and the temperature in the room plummets as you reawake to actual consciousness this time. And floating in the air just above you, Catwin, kind of like floating over you, looking down at you on the bed, you see this figure.
She looks lovely.
There's like blood coming out of her neck.
Yeah.
Ghost blood.
Ghost blood.
Ghost blood. I mean,
Yeah. And as she stretches out her hand towards you, Catwin, she says, leave.
It's not picking you up.
Oh, man. No one leaves. And all of you are now awake.
I fucking hope so.
I'm just going to use
She's still
Sasha's
there?
token because I don't have
Not
a... yes, the spectral figure is floating here in the middle of the room. You do notice...
What is this?
And Catwin, you would notice the necklace is hanging around her neck.
Would I be able to see it at all from my angle?
I don't think you would. I think Catwin would be the only one able to see it right now because she's facing Catwin.
Do I recognize it?
You would, yes, because all of you recognized it in
the dream.
in the dream. Yeah, it would have been mentioned in the dream.
Should I? I'm gonna try to take it off of her.
What?
Can I have it? Can I have it? No. Is it? Is it the same one that Azure
Okay,
has?
Fern.
It's
Sorry.
the other
I
half.
know.
It's the same one that
It's the other half, but yeah.
yeah, it's the same one that the little girl was wearing in the dream, which you know is the other half of the one that
Yeah.
Azure has.
Can I call Azure over to me?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not gonna like disturb my new friend who's like on top of me.
You just called me over, but you didn't say why.
Look at what's around her neck.
I'll go run back to my bag and grab the box with the locket in it. And I'll open it up. Is this what you're looking for?
She looks at it, and she says again, but with less conviction this time. She says, "No one can leave. You must remain in torment with me."
Hmm. Doesn't sound very fun.
That note was still in the box too, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I
I'm gonna
believe
take
so.
out the note and read it to her. Is it in our pinned comments?
I don't think the note itself is. I have a scribbling of what I wrote, but you
Yeah,
can.
it's in our pinned comments.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like this note was left to you from Verushka or from Katerina. And then I'm gonna read out. Do you want me to read out the whole note, or just?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Dearest Verushka, I hope this letter finds you well, though I fear it may not. My heart aches as I pen these words, knowing they may be the last I ever write you. I pray that you too survive the slaughter. Please forgive my cowardice, though I fled from my life. Some part of me also knew I had fled from the life we may once have shared together. If you are reading this letter, then my spirit is gladdened to know that you have also escaped safely. My heart breaks, however, to share that we shall never again meet in this life. I have been given and accepted an offer of a new future and new opportunity. I do this not to abandon you, but because I am convinced that there is no other way to set things right. You always said that nothing is ever too broken to repair. As I stand at this crossroads, I cling to my hope that you are right. Some time ago, you gave me a gift one that I cannot take with me on this new journey. I have left it atop our tree, watched by a pair of guardians provided by my new benefactor. Please take it with my deepest regrets and my warmest wishes. No soul deserves love and peace more than you. May you live a long and happy life, and may joy follow evermore in your footsteps, even in the nights of the darkest sorrow. Sincerely and forever yours, Katerina. And then I kind of hold out the pendant.
As you read this note, her hand, which had been again kind of reaching out towards Catwin, slowly retracts and goes to clutch the pendant at her chest. As you get to the end of the as you get to the end of the note and hold out the pendant, you notice that you notice that the blood actually stops flowing from the
Mm.
the fang wounds at her neck, and the chill in the room begins to recede. And she says, "You speak truth. I am awaited." And she turns and kind of like looks around the room. And where is the thing? Oh, there it is. She floats into the closet, beckoning you, Azure. She says, "Come, I will show you what I hid."
7 minutes in heaven.
I was like, yeah, this is like really popping off. Come into the closet.
I keep an eye for me, I say to everybody else, and I follow.
Yeah,
Come on, you were in the Underdark. You've seen some
we will.
spooky shit.
Shaw will
Shit.
close the door. Just close the door behind Azure as he goes in.
You're on your own, baby.
Oh man,
Bye.
you want me to suck face with the ghost?
Yes.
Hey, do you, dog?
I'll pass. Let's go.
She reaches over to this back wall and pulls on one of the hooks.
Mm,
And
Secret compartment.
it's like the organ here for
Like a
it.
caboodle.
yeah, she pulls on one of the hooks, and one of the bricks in the wall swings out, revealing a small little little hiding spot. And she says, "You have done a great thing in reminding me of the love that I once held. I will not imprison you with me. I will retreat." And she vanishes.
Just like
Okay.
that. She gone.
Which?
I'm gonna take a look inside that
Look, I know.
spot, and what do I see?
There is a little rolled up piece of parchment and a small satin pouch.
Right. I'll grab it.
Yeah.
So did
excuse
she take the locket from me, or am I still holding it?
me. No, you're still holding that half of the locket.
Okay. So I'll grab that, and I'm gonna come back out to the room. And I said, she led me to this, and then disappeared. And then I open up the parchment first.
Written on the parchment is just a very simple note that says, "When you gave me this card, you said you had seen a sign of our future together. I'm sorry I never worked up the courage to make that future happen."
Oh,
That's sad.
does the pouch contain the other part of the locket?
It in fact it does not. What the pouch contains is a Taraka card, the Seer, and
Ooh.
a diamond ring.
Well,
Rip.
do we know what the seer card entails? Can't remember if that. I don't think that was part of our card. So
I don't remember if it was or not.
Isn't that
We can
pinned?
probably find out, and that is also pinned, so we should be able to find that quick.
Yeah, but and she says when you gave me this card, you said you had seen a sign of our future together. So
Oh,
Right.
gotcha.
So we would
gotcha.
think maybe it was like a marriage proposal, the card and the ring together. If I
something like that. Yeah.
was to guess. Does the ring seem to? And at this time, is it still like nighttime? Like, is it?
It's the-
middle of
yeah,
the night?
it has been 1 hour. It is only 1 in the morning.
Okay. This ring.
None of these are the where is it? Oh, this is the one I want. Sorry.
So we'll just kind of look at Eliana and be like, "Were you not watching?"
What are you talking about? I couldn't. Were we? Was that all a dream? Like, were we all in the same dream?
I was like, I don't know about you, but I woke up and there was like a ghosty lady on top of me. Not in like a hot way either. Spooky.
Don't know
It-
how that would be a hot way, but
I mean, it was like a spell. I couldn't counter it. I couldn't stay awake.
huh?
I'm taking a
Right.
closer look at the ring.
yeah.
Any like inscriptions on it, or does it seem to have any other properties to it?
Nope. It's just a simple gold band with a small diamond set in it.
Okay. It's like
I'll just tell you, it's worth 150 gold pieces.
Hell yeah!
that's the most money we found at Barovia.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna add it to my inventory now.
A diamond can also be used for some pretty high-level spells.
This
You're
is true.
right.
Ooh.
I didn't even think about that.
I've played many
Maybe-
spellcasters.
Or maybe Eliana should hold on to that one.
I don't think I can do any of those spells yet, but I don't mind holding on to it.
Do you not trust me with it, or I can? I mean, I can give it to you, but I mean,
No, like
figured
I
we
mean,
could use it for. We don't really have any money.
no, you don't have any money. There is a difference.
Giving you a glare.
I'm giggling with Catwin.
Yeah, so some of the spells that would I know this? I mean, I think would I know the types of spells, or would I just
Yeah,
know that
you
those?
You would be aware of magic and spells that would require things like that. Whether or not you were currently capable of doing them, you would know of them.
I also cast similar spells to a druid, just not as many.
Well, I think some of the spells are like 9th level spells. Like once you're really practiced, you can cast Gate, which transports you places.
Gate, yeah, it does.
And Resurrection.
To home.
Also, yes.
I don't think I can-
I think Gate is 7th level.
Yeah, it's like 7th or 8th or 9th. I don't
Yeah,
think it's
doesn't-
9th. It's like 7th
That
I
level.
think-
requires
I think
more than
Gate
this
is
diamond
7th.
is worth.
Yeah. Also,
Yes.
This is a very small diamond.
I don't think you're going to get 7th level spells in this campaign.
Probably not. Well, I'm letting you know.
I know. Here, I'll just give it to you, and I'm gonna go back to sleep.
But yes, you all are able to.
It is a very expensive diamond. It is not the same.
You
And it's
all
a 9th level spell.
you all are able to get back to sleep and still garner the benefits of a long rest. But I think that
Nice.
is a good stopping point.
Fair.
These ladies.
Resurrection is a 7th level spell, but also a 1000 GP diamond.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like this is basically going to be just for trade, so I was just.
Well, I feel like everything in Barovia is like a lot cheaper than.
Mm.
No. Okay.
All right, hang on. Let me get this done. All right, y'all. Gonna be ending the stream there. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you next time.